Top royalty. District 2. We about to put on a show. 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 If you ain't paying, you gotta go. We are not playing. This is the pros. The people I came with are ready to go. We are not famous. It look like it though. We about to put on a show. 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 If you ain't paying, you gotta go. We are not playing. This is the pros. The people I came with are ready to go. We are not famous. It look like it though. You can't see us like a bad father. So be training hard with Donnie Palmer. So many speed bags getting ran down. Whoa, watch that uppercut. Man down. If you ain't ready for the big leagues, this is gonna end quickly.
All right, lady, let's get it.
Cause we gonna post this on Insta. Hashtag.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Angry Rican Show. All right, lots and lots to get into today. So for those of you tuning in, I appreciate you. I do apologize that I don't give adequate notice for these pop-up streams, but unfortunately your boy's on a low budget, no budget, and I don't really have a schedule just yet. As you can see there on your left-hand side at the bottom, I hardly have any subscribers, so I'm having a hard time staying motivated. Nah, not really. But, you know, once that numbers goes up to like triple digits, then maybe I'll have a schedule. But anywho, lots and lots going on right now. It's a little hard to keep up with everything that's going on in the world. Trump is officially the content president. I mean, you can't take a day off. You take a day off in this news cycle, and so much happens that it's hard to literally keep up. But I think that is done on purpose, you know, because you have to make sure that the liberal media, you know, you basically got to make sure that keep the liberal media guessing and get an outrage over every little thing this man does. Because remember, in 2 years, we're going to have midterms. And if the media and if the Democrats keep outraging over everything, that's only going to help the Republicans, because it's going to open up the eyes and wake more people up of how ridiculous the other side is. Because everything is an outrage. Everything is an outrage. So that makes Trump a successful president, if you ask me, because he's pissing off all the right people. So let's get to it. Let's check it here. These are the topics that I'm going to cover today. We're going to be looking at the U.S. to take over Gaza. That just came out. Very interesting. Democrats meltdown over DOGE. That's a hot topic right now. The Democrats are on fire with that one. Donald Trump officially ends men and women's sports. And illegal immigrants to be sent to El Salvador prison. And possibly even American prisoners. That one should be interesting, how that one's going to work out. I guess a caveat to that one would also be they're being sent to Guantanamo Bay. And then if time permits, and depending on how I feel, we'll hit up on some trending topics and see what's up. Now, just so that you guys know, because I am on a low budget, no budget, I don't have a producer to get all the clips for me, and I don't have time and to be doing all that. So we're just kind of wing it. We're just gonna wing it around. But when it comes to the Gaza situation, I saw this interesting little video that I think explains a little bit the history of Gaza. It's a very long history. But this quick little short does it in 60 seconds. Kind of gives you a little synopsis of what has been happening in that particular region of the world. So without further ado, let's take a quick look-see at that.
The complete history of Gaza in 60 seconds. 3000 BC, ancient Egypt builds a fortress in the Canaanite territory of Gaza. Soon after, Gaza is virtually abandoned. 2500 BC, the Canaanites resettle in Gaza, but soon Gaza is abandoned again. 14th century BC, Gaza becomes part of the Egyptian Empire. 12th century BC, the Philistines move into Gaza. Samson is imprisoned and meets his death in Gaza. 11th century BC, King David conquers Gaza for the Israelites. 8th century BC, Gaza is conquered by the Assyrians. 332 BC, Alexander the Great conquers Gaza. Gaza is incorporated into the Roman Empire in 63 BC. Gaza was granted to Herod the Great by Roman Emperor Augustus in 30 BC. 7th century AD, Gaza is conquered by Arab Muslim forces. 1100 AD, the Crusaders conquer Gaza. 1260 AD, Gaza is destroyed by the Mongols. 1516 AD, Gaza is incorporated into the Ottoman Empire. 1917, British occupation during World War I. 1948, Palestinian conflict following Israeli independence. 1967, Gaza is occupied by Israel during the Six-Day War. 2005, Israel withdraws from Gaza, ending its occupation. 2007, Hamas takes control of Gaza. The complete history of Gaza in 6.
All right, so that was a quick one, right? So as you guys can see, just a quick synopsis, that particular part of the world has been in constant battle for centuries, several hundred years. Actually, as a matter of fact, I would even venture to say since the moment humans started keeping records of historical events. So that particular small strip of land there has been in perpetual battle. And no one can truly really control it. And just when one faction controls it, another one comes in, and another one comes in, and the people that are there, they come in, they come out, they come in, they come out, a new group, another group, and it's just nonstop battling it out. Nonstop. So the question is, what's the solution? What's the solution, right? With the whole Israel, Palestine, some people will argue that that whole area was actually called Palestine. At one point it was, but Israel's always been there and vice versa. And it's just always been one of those parts of the world that is constantly being contested. And as far as I see it, that's never going to stop. And then every single president that comes into power, they always want to try to do the same thing. They want to do a two-state solution, two-state solution, two-state solution. But what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So at some point, somebody is going to have the balls to try something different. Is it going to work? Maybe. It might not work. But whatever we're doing now is clearly not working. So then you have to ask the question, do we continue with the same policies year after year after year after year after year and see no result? Or do you do something that's drastically different? So this is what President Trump proposes.
We'll take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. The U.S. will take over.
So it appears, President, I keep saying Mr., but President Trump, and if you look at Bibi Netanyahu's face, I don't think he even knew that Trump was going to say what he said. I think it kind of took him by surprise. But he proposes that the United States of America basically take control of the region. I'm no historian, but I'm old enough to have lived through several presidencies. I've been around long enough. I've seen, I was alive when Arafat, got poppity pop. So it's a never-ending situation. So somebody got to do something different. And Donald Trump, his main goal is to have peace in the Middle East and basically peace all over the world, if he can. So now, what's my opinion on the whole situation? Because if you're tuning in, you probably want to hear what I have to say about it. Let me see. His face was priceless. Yes, it was. His face was priceless because he definitely got him off guard where he said that. I think Bibi Netanyahu was like, "Whoa, hey, what you mean? What you mean the U.S. gonna take over it?" But at that point, we have to understand that Trump is the king of the art of the deal. So he might just be talking some doo-doo. He might not even want to take over Gaza. But what it does do is makes everybody else in the region think about it. And they are going to have to come up with a solution to try to solve this situation. Something that is different, because if they do not come up with a, reasonable solution that everybody can live with, then the alternative is that the United States takes over the whole area. And what's going to happen is they're kicking everybody out. Everybody gone. It's a small piece of land, It's not like I'll show it here in the map. Let's do Google Earth. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, our school systems have failed us, and a lot of people can't even probably find Gaza on a map. So this is Gaza. All right. This is all of Israel. And this is tiny little Gaza. Just a little bitty piece of land right here. And this, for some reason, this little piece of land right here is worth a lot to somebody. They're always fighting over this piece of land. So, as of right now, this entire plot of land, and I think even if you try to look at it, you see a lot of like dark areas. I'm thinking it's just because this place is basically a parking lot at this point. As Trump says, is a demolition site. So this tiny piece of land here, there's only about there used to be about 2 million people there. But I would assume because of the war, a lot of people have fled. Definitely a lot of people have died, way more than the government would care to admit to. Because, those numbers, they don't really tell you the full numbers, because if they did, there'll probably be, more outrage. But essentially, all these people that live here, they're pretty much over here somewhere. From my understanding, they're over on this side, close to the border of Egypt. They've all been pushed out of everywhere, and they're living in tents. There is no running water. There is no electricity. There's nothing. Israel controls the entry points, so you can't just walk into Israel. So it's basically an open air prison, essentially. Now, I'm not taking sides as to who's right and who's wrong. Not my circus, not my monkey. I can care less. But I'm just giving you my opinion. Personally, I can care less. I don't care who controls it. I don't care who owns it. It's a tiny little piece of land in the greater scheme of things, as you can see, is freaking insignificant. But here's the thing. A lot of these guys are obviously Muslims, right? They're Hamas, and it's only 1.5 million people. As you can see from the map, there is a lot of Muslim countries all over the place. Look how big Saudi Arabia is. Look how big Iraq is. Jordan, even Jordan can take some. Look how big Jordan is in comparison to the Strip. So realistically speaking, they can't live there anymore. For all intended purposes, it's a wrap, right? Mega Gaza. It's nice. It's gonna be the Mar-a-Lago, Hamalargo. But for all intended purposes, it's donezo. There is no Gaza. Gaza is done. It's a wrap. Finito. No more. Basically you got people without a nation at this point. So what's the humane thing to do? It's really what you have to think about at this point. Do we end the war and just let them live there and fend for themselves? There's no water. And if you look at it, there's no rivers. So they don't have fresh water. So they have to be dependent upon Israeli to provide them with the water. I'm pretty sure they don't have any desalinization plants where they can convert the salt water into regular water. And if I'm not mistaken, this water is very salty over here. So what do you do? What do you do? At this point, the only solution is Trump's solution. You relocate every single person that lives there and you relocate them to Hamas-friendly, Muslim-friendly countries. And there's not that many of them. I mean, 1.5 million, I mean, it seems like a lot, but in the greater scheme of things, it's really not. I mean, how many illegal immigrants come through our borders on a regular basis? We got about 30 million of them. So I think that it is a good idea what Trump is proposing. I don't know how the rest of the Arab world is going to react to it. But the truth of the matter is that if the United States owns this plot of land, they ain't shit the rest of these people are going to do. Secondly, Saudi Arabia is our peeps, right? Saudi Arabia is our peeps. So we're Gucci there. Eventually, what will happen if the United States does take over Gaza and probably turn it into a Dubai or something, because I'm pretty sure we're not just going to take it over and not make money off of it. But then again, who knows? The president's only there for 4 years. So who knows if 4 years from now we end up with a liberal president and then he does what we did with Panama, with the Panama Canal, and just give it back to, to Hamas. Because, unfortunately, America is stupid like that sometimes. I'm with it. I think it's a good idea. I think we should try it out, see what happens. Now, people are worried about whether or not we're going to have troops on the ground. Inevitably, we may have to, but Israel has all the soldiers we need. Israel's already there. And realistically speaking, Israel's going to end up with that plot of land at some point. They're just going to end up with it. United States is probably going to take it over for a few years, maybe a decade or two. And then something will happen and they'll just be like, you know what? We were spending too much resources taking over that place. Why don't you just go ahead and keep it? Because the alternative is that we let them back in there and they're all going to die from starvation anyways. Or they'll rebuild it again barely and keep fighting and fighting and fighting again over and over again. And you're not going to eliminate Israel. Israel's not going anywhere. Unless there's like a major, major war. But even then, they've tried it with the 6-Day War. Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon. They all try to, destroy Israel. And that didn't quite work out for them. And they got nukes. So, What can you do? But let's take a look see here, because obviously, this is interesting, right? If Trump takes it over, you're gonna have a Trump Tower. All right, at the Gaza Strip, you go have the Trump Inn and Casino, because why not? And as Maria said here, Trump is gonna name it the Mega Gaza. By the way, I thought y'all was supposed to subscribe before you can comment. Did you subscribe? Probably not. I appreciate it if you did, though. So that's one option. And obviously, we have, where is it? So obviously, you're going to have people that are going to disagree. And a lot of people will disagree because other people agree, because they just like to take the opposite. So here we look at someone that says, if this dude is excited about Trump's vision for Gaza, it's not good for white Americans or Palestinians. It's only good for Jews. So this is Ben Shapiro. A lot of people don't like Ben Shapiro. Personally, he talks fast. But just like anything else, right? Just like any person, there's things he says that I agree with. There's things he says that I don't agree with. But I think that's true with pretty much anybody, any human being that you talk to. You're not gonna 100% agree with everything somebody says. That would be weird. We all have different experiences. But Ben Shapiro is a Jew, and he's all in for the Jewish people, and that's his people, and whatever policies are going to be beneficial to the Jews, Ben Shapiro's he's going to be with it. So undoubtedly, the most extraordinary and unexpected element of Trump's first term was his remaking of the Middle East with the Abraham Accords. He achieved that Nobel Prize-worthy accomplishment by thinking outside the box, recognizing actual hard realities, and ignoring the conventional idiocy of the blob. He's doing the same now with Gaza. This vision is absolutely transformative. Whether this is his final vision of the region, a negotiation tactic to achieve better deals, or something else, there is no doubt that Trump's creative thinking is breaking the mold and changing things. Let Donald Trump cook. So, all right, guys, give me about 2 seconds here. The Michu's here. The wife is looking for the cat. Go ahead. Okay. Estoy live. All right. So about that, home studio here. Low budget, no budget. Angry Rican show. All right, let me see what we got here. Maria, what you got to say? I don't know if you remember me. I discovered you when you joined Luke. Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing, Maria? I am a hate watcher of Lucas since he flipped from Trump. You did great that night. You were outnumbered. I have Mrs. Christ says Lucas. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what's up, Maria. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you know what's funny about Lucas, Maria? I was watching him back in the days when he probably had like he probably had like 50 subs, maybe. And then he used to have some common sense takes on a lot of things. But I think he flipped when it came down to reparations. If I'm not mistaken. As soon as the whole talk about reparations started to happen, it like something flipped on his brain, and then he just went all in with like the woke stuff and the woe is me I'm black, so oh my God, the world must be against me. So that was very interesting with him. Now I do watch him. I do watch him because even though I disagree with him, and I kind of do the same thing. I do the hate watching because I like to comment on his videos, but he never responds. It's because even though he has some really crazy takes, I actually kind of like his like I actually, I know people like him. I have a couple of friends that are kind of like him, so he's a familiar. I don't know, he seems familiar to me. He's somebody that outside of the political spectrum and different ideologies, I would actually probably get along with. I would probably play basketball with him and stuff. Like, so even though he's out, he's thinking wise, we're in two different lanes. He's likable, but at the same time, I like watching him because it also gives me a better sense of what the other side is thinking. And there are a lot of people from the other side. Oh my God, going crazy to light here. A lot of the people from the other side are insufferable. Like, they're extremely hard to watch or to listen to. He at least is a little bit more entertaining. So even though I disagree with him, he's likable. So he's I can tolerate him. And then it helps me see what the other side is thinking about, because I'm not the type of person, like, I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I don't just want to listen to, what I agree with, because what's the point in that? That's why I jumped on that disagreement day, because I want, it's fun to disagree, because that's how you learn. If everybody's, kissing each other's ass, you're not going to learn anything. He met me about 2 years ago. Yeah, though, the chance is not going to be happy with me, because I keep it 100, man. I'm 45 years old. I've been around the block. I've seen changes. You know what I mean? Internet didn't even exist when I was growing up. Remote controls for what was that? So a lot of these people, they're young. They don't know shit. And then when you're young, you tend to be more liberal. Just like people that commit crimes are usually younger. But then as you get older, you wisen up. And then you start to see things a little different, because now you're an adult. You have children. You're paying taxes. And all of a sudden, you go from being a liberal person to being conservative, because you realize, oh, damn, I've been working this much, and now I got to pay the government how much taxes? So, yeah, I know it's interesting. He's crazy. Yeah, I try to listen to other liberals, but sometimes it's just hard. It's just hard, and a lot of them are very they're very very soft, very very feminine. And I don't know, and I'm just, I don't know. But yeah, I listen to him, liberal, and I think he's probably the only real liberal that I listen to, because he's interesting. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this? You may be wondering why Gaza would need 50 million worth of condoms. It's because they use condoms as weapons to fly explosive into Israel. Is that so?
DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is. DOGE and OMB.
That's wild. So $50 million for condom kites, birthday balloons, silly Gaza weapons could lead to Israel. Palestinians in the Gaza strips are relentlessly flying a variety of airborne, arson, and explosive devices into Israel, causing hundreds of fires, millions. Okay, so wow. So we gave them $50 million with the condoms that they're using to fly explosives. Interesting. That's crazy. Well, I appreciate your support there, Maria. Yeah, we're gonna keep. I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to slide back into one of those panels. But he hasn't had them. That I don't know. But he be on there for like 6 hours, doing like a 6 hour lives. I don't. I like talking, but I don't like talking that much. I don't know if I can sit here talking for like 6 hours. And on top of that, his production value for as long as he's been doing it kind of sucks. Like you would think you have over 500,000 subscribers and your camera looks like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. I mean, I know I ain't got the best of the best, but damn, at least 1080p. Get good internet. They don't look half bad, but his production value is kind of, I don't know, kind of sus. Sometimes you gotta switch things around. It's not that hard. Everybody uses pretty much the same software. What else do we got going on here? So you know what's interesting? Here's a woman in Gaza. We have gay nothing. Well, I'll show you. Because a lot of times we come up with these policies and stuff, but we never really listen to the people on the ground. So this lady right here. So a woman in Gaza, we gain nothing from the war. Our houses are gone. Our children are gone. We are going back to rubble. I hope Turkey takes me and my daughter. All of these liberals lambasting Trump, not listening to what Gazans have to say. See? So the people on the ground, they want change. They want change over there. This is making me emotional. Not only did Trump, okay. Let's see what he has to say. I don't think I've seen this one.
To follow up on what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries, one, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, you just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
The Riviera.
But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace in a much better situation, because they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and that the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their hearts and will give us the kind of land that we need to get this done. And people can live in harmony and in peace. Thank you all very much.
Oh yeah, Maria. Yes, definitely. That would be awesome. I would love to have the channel blow up, but just so that you know, I look like I'm new to this, but I'm not really new to this. Real quick, before I get back into the topic, I started a YouTube channel back in 2016 when Trump first ran for president. And I was actually doing pretty good at first, but then life happens. Life happens, and I had to kind of stop doing it. I did it for a little while. I had a couple of videos that went a little viral back then, but back then was cool because back then you used to get paid right away. Back then YouTube, you were monetized instantly, kind of like Rumble is. And then all of a sudden they switched the whole way that you get monetized, and it makes it damn near impossible. So I kind of just, and life happens, so I kind of just put that channel to rest. And the name of it didn't really fit with what I was trying to do. Then several years later, probably maybe another 4 years later, I started a different channel, which was Square Up TV. And that was more of a podcast, and we used to talk about boxing. But the problem is that even though I like boxing, I know how to box, I don't really follow boxing. So I had a group of guys that were like expert boxing analysis, but they didn't have the know-how on how to, work the mics and the software and the videos and stuff like that. So then that podcast didn't quite work out because I'm more of an MMA guy. I know a lot more about that. But as far as boxing, I mean, if I think of boxing, I think of like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. Like, I have no idea who all the new people are. And I don't follow it like that. And when it comes to boxing, there's so many different leagues and stuff like that. So that podcast went to shit. Then I started this one about 4 years ago. Actually, as a matter of fact, I started this one again because I wanted to help Trump win the election. And then I actually talked about the Hunter laptop way before most people even started talking about it. But then YouTube suppressed the hell out of it. I even got access to the contents of the laptop before it was mainstream. And at that point, and I actually have one of my first videos, if you look all the way down, was about the laptop. But I had access to all the content, right? So when the news broke out, I instantly, did my magic, there was some Chinese website that literally had everything on it. And I think I might have got it from Alex Jones. But the mainstream media was telling me that the laptop didn't exist, that it was a Russian disinformation. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at Hunter Biden's dick. He butt naked, sniffing coke, smoking crack, getting his wee-wee sucked. And the media is telling me that is the whole mark of the Russian disinformation. And that's when I said, shit, they ain't never gonna let me climb the ladder up in the YouTube world. They're gonna suppress me because they control the information. I had the access to the content of the Hunter Biden laptop. And if I had it, that means that the FBI had it. That means that everybody else had it. And I'm an absolute nobody. I'm just a Joe Schmo, some random dude. But somehow the Chinese had it because they were the ones that leaked the link. But the mainstream media was talking about like if it never existed. And then the moment you start talking about it, then I got censored. They kicked me out of Twitter. Because I was posting the link. I was posting the link to the contents of the website. So they shut my ass down. I didn't actually get back onto Twitter until Elon bought it. So they kicked me. They locked me out. Facebook locked me out when I tried to share it. So at that point, I was like, what's the point of trying to do YouTube videos if they're just gonna censor me? So it didn't make much sense, but I decided. So if you see like my old videos, I was 4 years ago, and then I just kind of paused, did a couple random here and there. But I said in 2025 though, there's a new Big Willie in town, and he said he was gonna pass the Internet Bill of Rights. So to try to stop big tech, people like YouTube and Facebook and that kind of stuff from censoring and from shadow banning people like me. So here I am. So I'm hoping that in 2025, I don't get shadow banned and I can hopefully grow the damn channel. Because I probably would have been at 500,000 subs by now if it wasn't because because of the Hunter laptop story. They just, they kicked my ass out. Yeah, see? What I'm talking about. Sure, and on top of that, man, they still trying to mess with you, like trying to suppress you, because during Trump's inauguration, I tried to do a live stream and C-SPAN tried to copyright me. So literally, I woke up early. I was up early, took the day off, and I wanted to live stream the whole day and all the events of the inauguration. It's a government, it's a governmental thing, right? So you can't copyright that. But somehow every single streamer, every single YouTuber was using the C-SPAN feed, and no problem. It's the government. It's the inauguration. Everybody can stream it. Just like what do you call it? Like the debates. You can't stop us from streaming it. You know what I'm saying? It's the debates. And they could hit me with a copyright strike, shut me down for about 5 hours. I had to contest it. YouTube finally said, yeah, you're right. And they unblocked me. But then by then, the damage was done. I wasn't able to live stream the whole thing. So that kind of sucked. But it is what it is, man. You gotta be a liberal. You gotta toe the line sometimes if you want to make it, but I'm not gonna do that, because then I wouldn't be true to myself. So I give you my opinion on what I think, and that's that. If you don't like it, good. If you like it, great. This and then I'll move on from this one thing right here. So we have these protests because of the whole Palestine and Gaza, and this is something that upsets me. Why are you in my country waving another country's flag? Like you see, and then you got people with the burqas and stuff. Like, you're in America. I think America sometimes is a little too friendly. You can't go to Japan and be out there waving the American flags or not following their customs and their way of being, but then we allow people from all over the world to come here and basically pretend like they own, like take over. Like, we're in America. You don't need to be wearing no burqas or none of that stuff. Same thing with like the immigrants. You guys see with the Mexicans? They want to be here, but they out there protesting, waving the Mexican flag. It's like, come on, guys. Like, I get it. You want to be here. That's cool. We want you here. But, you got to do it right. And if you're going to protest, at least, wave the American flag around. Don't be waving the flag of the country you don't want to be in. It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. If you see my little logo here, he got a little Puerto Rican flag on it. Because I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm also American. So I have dual loyalties. My family's in Puerto Rico, so obviously I got to represent. But I'm also American, so I got to represent that too. And my father was a soldier. So, it's one of those things. What was my next topic? I don't remember. What was the next one? What were we talking about in the next one? Oh, yeah, the Doge. What is going on with the Doge Wheezy? So, a lot of people are freaking out. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people. I think if I were to If I were a betting man, I would say that the majority of the American people who is critically thinking and thinking logically is looking at the whole Doge situation and saying that it's a good idea. It makes sense for us to know where our tax dollars is going to. So I don't understand why the Democrats are acting like, this is a hostile takeover of the government. Doesn't make sense. They're trying to say that it's a coup, that Elon and Trump took over the federal government is a coup. No, people voted for Trump. And everybody knew that Elon was his boy. And he had an X talk. And during that X talk, and they talked for a couple of hours, Elon proposed the Doge idea. And Trump said, that's a good idea. And then he said, as a matter of fact, would you be willing to do it? I know you're a busy man. You're throwing rockets up into space. Are you willing to do it? And he said, yeah, absolutely. I would love to do it. So then now that he wins, we put him in charge. We create the Doge. We put him in charge. Y'all freaking out. Like you didn't know this was going to happen? It's ridiculous. You should have picked a better candidate. You see, the thing is with a lot of these politicians, they forget that the pendulum always swings. Today, Trump is in charge, but 4 years from now, it might be somebody else. We don't know. Trump was there in 2016, and then all of a sudden, boom, 2020, we got Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden was supposed to come in and be what I call it, save the soul of America, join us together, and instead, he was asleep at the wheel. Like the amount of stuff that Trump is doing in just 16 days compared to what Biden did in 4 years is ridiculous. At this point, I'm thinking like, what else is there left to do? I mean, you still got 4 years to go, bro. So, weather name, you don't look angry. It's a play on words. I'm happy-go-lucky, but sometimes I do get angry. Sometimes I do get upset. But I think I got inspired by the angry man. There's a YouTuber, black guy. He's the angry man, but he's really angry. Like that son of a bitch is really angry. Like he definitely looks angry as hell. I'm not so angry, but I'm angry on the inside. I just try to keep my cool. But I'm old, so I really don't care. At the end of the day, we're not gonna make it out alive, so there's no need to be super angry. But a lot of this stuff does kind of upset me a little bit, especially when they lie to you. These government officials, these Congress folks, these liberals, these Democrats, they lie, and they lie a lot. And it really upsets me because I voted for Obama the first time around. As a matter of fact, I even went to Obama's inauguration. I got pictures to prove it. I was there. I wanted to witness history. First black president. I was like, word, first black president. Woo woo, let's go, Obama. Obama. And then he got into office and everything was racist. Which is interesting. Prior to Obama, I damn near thought racism was extinct. Like no one really talked about it. It wasn't really a thing. I've been Puerto Rican my entire life. It wasn't really a thing. Nobody really cared. And then all of a sudden, Obama becomes president and everything is racist. If you disagree with him, you disagree with him because he's black. But then you start to think like, hold on. Then if we're racist, then how the hell did he become president in the first place? If that's the case. You know what I'm saying? But it's also interesting, they're the racist one, because for whatever reason, if you're of mixed race, the white side of you be damn. You can't claim the white side. You're black. If you're half black, half Asian, your Asian side be damn. You're black. You know, back in the days, they used to, it was like you know, like you had like contaminated genes or whatever. You know, you wasn't a purebred. That was racism back then. And now we like, I've seen people that don't look black at all. This is one girl on YouTube, Shayna, some shit like that. She looks, her mom is Asian, daddy's black. She look Asian as all hell. But if you ask her, what nationality are you? Oh, I'm black. Well, you're not. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Someone's like, you're mixed. It's okay. There's another, I don't know his name because I don't really watch football like that, but there's a football coach. He's half black. His dad's black. His mom's Asian. He looks Asian. Like, he doesn't look black at all. But for whatever reason, they try to say, oh, how does it feel to be the first black this, black that? And it's like, bro, does your mom, like, does the mom side doesn't exist? You're mixed. But they're trying to make everything about race and stuff like that. It just kind of gets annoying. I like to think that there's assholes and there's good people on all nationalities. And there's some nationalities that I get along with a little more than others because we might share some of the same, I don't know, cultural things. You know, like I get along with most of the Hispanics. I get along with everybody, really. I can care less what nationality you are. But for whatever reason, everything is like, oh my God, white people this, black people that, Hispanic people this, Asian people that. Like, shut the fuck up. If anybody does like a DNA test, you'll quickly realize that you're like 15, 20 different fucking nationalities. Ain't no purebreds. Ain't no pure bloods. Everybody's mixed with something. There ain't nobody that's like 100% black, 100% white, 100% Hispanic. Doesn't exist. Everybody's mixed. And I think as a society, we need to just stop talking about race, period. You know what I'm saying? You're you, I'm me. That's it. Everything got to be about race all the damn time. All right, so back to the USAID. You know what's interesting? I didn't even know this organization existed until a couple of days ago when they started talking about the USAID. Because every time they always talk about U.S. foreign aid, I thought that was coming from like the State Department. I didn't know that there was an actual organization called USAID or USAID, and I didn't know that they were stealing. But let's see what's the connection between them and the CIA, according to Jesse Waters here on Fox News.
And the CIA helped orchestrate Trump's impeachment?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, it's a crazy story. I mean, you might forget that, you know, the House of Representatives impeached President Trump in December of 2019. Many people may not remember that it was a CIA analyst who was left over from the Obama White House who wrote the memo that led to the impeachment. It was all based on hearsay. The person had not actually been in the room with Trump. Nonetheless, this memo that he wrote relied heavily on a report done by an organization funded by USAID. In fact, its initial founding funding, I mean, now it's tens of millions of dollars, had gone into this group called the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, a name that's not very memorable, OCCRP, but it was basically created as an extension of the State Department and then of USAID. And as you know, Jesse, this is very serious to be involved in an effort to do regime change at home, as we've been discovering as the files have come out with what Elon Musk has been doing. We know that USAID was really about regime change abroad. It was a kind of public-facing part, regime change operation like CIA, but not covert, more overt. Well, now you see a similar blowback, just like they did censorship abroad and brought censorship tools back home. They were doing this sort of thing abroad, creating a predicate essentially for Trump's impeachment. So I think it's just one of many revelations that we'll see coming out in the next few weeks.
So USAID was involved in regime change abroad and here at home. Very interesting.
That's crazy. You know what's interesting is that I guess Politico during the 2020 election, they got a huge influx of money, and they were the ones that promoted the suppression of the Biden laptop. And this is Politico. Politico got $8.2 million. Actually, yeah, right here. And you see the. I put it a little higher. Well, that didn't quite work. We'll zoom it in here. Let me see. Can't zoom it in. All right, so yeah, you can see the how it fluctuated. So you know they weren't giving them much money here, and then all of a sudden, come 2020 election, woo, right here, boom, they got an influx of money, and they're the ones that started promoting the story, you know, from the 51 spies that lie, trying to say that the laptop was Russia disinformation, even though yours truly was looking at Hunter Biden's penis. And by the way, you know, no Diddy, but you know, he chilling. He, you know, he hanging low. I could see why he was walking around butt naked and taking pictures of himself butt naked all day long. You know, say there's no shame in his game, and honestly, he Gucci. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a porn star. Oh man, what the world we live in. So yep, so Politico's in the bag. And you know what's funny with Politico? I don't know if you guys heard about this, but their employees, they didn't get paid right away, because as soon as Elon Musk shut that Doge down, their gravy train went bye-bye, so they didn't have money to pay them. Allegedly, they finally paid them, but it was delayed. I'm thinking because they had to scramble and figure out where to get the money from real quick, move some stuff around in the accounting department so they can pay them, so they can maintain the appearance that they weren't being paid by the U.S. government to run their propaganda. And everything is coming to light. And it's a beautiful thing. It's kind of like what Cat Williams says. You know what I'm saying? All the deviants, everything is coming in light. Let me see. Catch me up in 30 seconds. ABK, listen, buddy. Listen, I'm going to catch you up in 30 seconds. Hit rewind and then come back. But basically, in 30 seconds, we're catching up. We were talking about the Gaza Strip and Trump seizing control, or the United States seizing control of the Gaza Strip. We were talking about the censorship that happened during the 2020, especially with the Hunter Biden laptop. And now we're talking about the USAID ripping us off and people freaking out over it. Which is interesting, right? Because you would think that when they're going to argue about it, right, you're going to protest about it, you would hit us with some like concrete, like, oh my God, you know, we need the USAID because they did this wonderful thing for this and that. But they don't say that. They just character assassinate people. Elon is Hitler. Elon is a Nazi. It's a takeover of the government. But they don't tell you why. Just like when they say Trump lies. Oh, Trump is a liar. He lies. Oh my God, he lies about everything. Oh, Trump is a liar. And then you ask them, well, what did he lie about? Oh yeah, everything. Okay, well, what's everything? Well, you know, he kicked out some Section 8 people from his apartments in 1980. It's like, are you fucking serious? That's the best argument. He's a racist. Why? Because he tried to kick Section 8 people out of his apartments. But then they just say that, right? And then you in your mind you're thinking, oh my God, what a horrible person. He kicked people out of Section 8 apartments. And then when you dig into it, the motherfucker bought a tower in Manhattan, a big ass tower that he was planning on turning into luxury apartments. And he was going to take those luxury apartments and obviously and sell the condos for millions of dollars. So of course, you're not going to have people Section 8 there because those apartments, the value of it is going to, he's planning on skyrocketing it. So you wouldn't qualify to live there anyways. So that's why he was kicking them out. He wasn't kicking them out because they're on Section 8. He was kicking them out because he bought the damn building. He was trying to turn them into luxury apartments. But of course, they take that and they flip the shit out of it. Did you hear today that Trump wants to build a huge ballroom in the White House? Check it out. A ballroom? Let's find out. Trump to build a ballroom. Let me see. News. Trump to build a ballroom at the White House. Interesting. The Daily Beast. Oh, how about that, Maria? So Donald Trump has vowed to build a 1 million ballroom in the White House, the first major renovation to the presidential mansion in over 70 years. Trump said he is good at building party rooms. the glitzy Donald J. Trump Grand Ballroom takes pride of a place at his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. Countering any suggestion that a ballroom would be an indulgence with Elon Musk and DOGE team is stripping federal budget. Trump said he would pick up the tab for the ambitious project himself. Hey, if he's paying for it, just like he's not getting paid to run the government, he's doing it for free. But if he's paying for it, shit, build whatever you want, bro. Didn't Obama, somebody had a bowling alley at the White House? I think somebody had a bowling alley at the White House. I don't remember who it was. But, every president that goes in there, they always do the little, they got to be living there for 4 years. And most of them are millionaires. So, of course, you're going to decorate a little bit. You're going to change some things around. You're going to change the drapes. And, Trump is the finest. But he a multi-billionaire, and he got billionaire friends. He doesn't need to spend taxpayer dollar to build it. So, yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Plus, I think he likes the whole ballroom thing because if you notice, before he actually took office, he would have a lot of the meetings with all the the important people that would come in to meet him. And he wouldn't have a meeting in his office. He would bring them to that big ballroom that he has, and people would be around him having dinners and stuff like that. And he would talk to people there. Very transparent. But that's cool. It's a good idea. Shit, if he's gonna pay for it, he can do whatever he wants. At least he wasn't like the Clintons that when they left the White House, they try to leave with the furniture. They try to take everything. At least he's trying to add to the White House, not take away from it. That's funny. Hey, Miss Aquino, how you doing, Lily? Hello. Yeah, so that's a good yeah, that's cool. Speaking at the press conference in the East Room, he claimed he'd appeal to Joe Biden to allow him to glam up the White House, but never heard anything about it. No, that's cool. I'm with it. Hey, if he's going to pay for it, let him. If he's going to pay for it, let him. I'm not mad at it. As long as he's not using our tax dollars for it, I'm okay with it. Oh, by the way, so in other news, I know, because a lot of people, they don't understand his tactics when it comes to negotiating. So how Trump said that he was going to take over the Panama Canal, and they all the liberals. Oh my God! So now he's a conquistador. He's going to conquer other countries. Well, check this out. Bam. The government of Panama has agreed to no longer charge fees for U.S. government vessels to transit to Panama Canal. This saves the U.S. government millions of dollars. He's a businessman, bro. A lot of people don't understand that. He talks a big game, but if you ever read the Art of the Deal, you ask for like something huge, for like a major ask, and then a lot of time people are gonna push back and be like, nah, hold on, man, I'm not gonna give you that. But then you end up settling with something just a little smaller. Okay, fine. You know, at the end of the day, what he really wanted was to not have to pay for our ships to cross to go through the canal, considering that we built it. That canal would not exist if it wasn't for the United States and all the men and women that died constructing it. Thousands of people died because of malaria and other diseases because, you know, the canal was built back in the days, like a long time ago. They didn't have the equipment that we have now, but we built it. So how the fuck did we build it? And you're gonna charge us an arm and a leg for our ships to go through there? And then on top of that, you gonna give the Chinese power over it and have the Chinese run it, knowing that they are our nemesis, even though we do business with them. But you know, we're frenemies. You know, we're friendly because we need each other monetarily, but we're enemies because, you know, China wants that global dominance too. They feel like it's their turn. They haven't had their turn to truly shine in the world stage. I mean, Japan whooped their ass, and Japan is just a little island. So, you know, but that's just interesting. People underestimate his skills. Okay, you have to hear about him, talk about it. He said Biden wouldn't answer him. He will put it past Trump. Hey, listen, Biden is sleeping. Biden was a Manchurian candidate, right? That's what you call him. He was a puppet. He was just there. He was a warm body for the deep state to do what they do. The unelected bureaucrats were running the government for the last 4 years, and you can tell. Biden was asleep at the wheel. He had no idea what he was doing. He's the type of person that would probably wake up at noon, and somebody will hand them a couple pieces of paper. Hey, Mr. Biden, why don't you go ahead and sign right here, sign right there, sign right here, sign right here, and then you want some chocolate chip ice cream? Okay, here you go. And then by 6, 7 o'clock, they call it a lid. He gonna go watch whatever and fall asleep. Do it again the next day. And he took damn near more than half of the time that he was in the White House, he was actually on vacation. So Biden is but he's always been like a globalist. He's always been a puppet. You know, if you've been around as long as I have, you know, you've always known that Joe Biden was a moron. He was a moron back in the days. He was a moron now. And everybody knew it, but the elites promised him. There's actually a video of him back when he was in his 30s when he first became senator, because he was one of the young, which is interesting. He was one of the youngest. He was the youngest senator at the time to ever be senator, and he wanted to be president back then. And I guess the big dogs, the elites at the time, told him that he was too young and that he just needed to chill out and wait his turn. And wait his turn he did. And they kept the promise because they made him president, because I know he didn't actually win. You know what I mean? Did he win? Did he win? He won. Shit. I don't think so. 81 million. And then 20 million of them all of a sudden disappeared and didn't vote for Kamala. Interesting. If you look at the charts, like it's like he got more votes than Obama. And Obama was like the messiah. Everybody, I loved Obama. You know what I mean? Hope and change. Man, I remember when I was in DC, man, I ain't never seen so many black people in one place in my life. I was surprised. I didn't know that they called DC Chocolate City until I got there. And I've never before the Obama election, I had never been to Washington DC. So for some reason, in my mind, I was thinking that the capital of the United States, Washington DC, was gonna be like this really nice area, very well kept, and all that stuff. And then I quickly found out that it's only the where the important buildings are that's very nice. The rest of it is the fucking hood. The rest of it is the hood. On my last day there, I got robbed at gunpoint, which is kind of interesting. Fun times. I was actually laughing about it. But yeah, it's the ghetto. DC is the ghetto. But people don't tell you that. But when you get there, you think you're going to go be into this nice, beautiful place. And yeah, I mean, as long as you're near the White House and you're near Capitol, yeah, it's very, very nice. But the moment you leave that section, man, you're in the ghetto. You better be escorted by somebody from there because you won't get jacked. I was there with my buddy Dre. Fun times. Oh, you didn't know that, Maria? You didn't know that DC is the ghetto? Oh, it's ghetto as a motherfucker. Don't let nobody tell you. Anybody tell you that Washington, it's crazy. It's crazy. And if you've never been there, when you're in the Capitol and you're visiting the monuments, that's all very nice. You go over to the Arlington Cemetery. All that area is really nice. But the moment you leave that little square over by Chinatown and all that, but once you leave that, bro, you in the straight hood. You in the ghetto gangster. You in the straight gangster. It's ghetto as a motherfucker. I was so surprised. I had no idea. How is it possible that the nation's capital would be ghetto and full of hoodlums? Amazing. Things you learn when you actually go to places. But it is ghetto. It is gangster. Oh yeah. Interesting. They don't call it Chocolate City for nothing. But yeah. I wish I had some. I should look up some of those pictures for when I was up there. All right, so Doge. We talked about Doge, so we already know we're doing the right thing. And we're going line by line by line by line. Every bullshit we spending money on, it's a wrap. But now the next thing is Trump just signed. In a single moment, President Trump did more to protect women's rights than any Democrat living or dead. So basically today, Mr. Trump made it. And I like this picture. Surrounded by a bunch of women. Oh my God, he hates women. Trump hates women. But yeah, he's the only one really trying to protect them. So he signed an executive order today banning men from competing in female sports. Yeah. How about that? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the man who hates women would be the only one trying to actually protect them? Because for some strange reason, these like people like these little guys right here, I think that's a she. Trans person says she hasn't slept since Trump became president and may flee Florida for New York. Shut up. Nobody cares. Yeah, because for whatever reason, they have like this weird thing that they don't think that biological differences exist. For some strange reason, they really do think that females can be just as fast and as strong as men. Now, of course, there's plenty of outliers, right? Because like I couldn't beat up Amanda Nunes. from the UFC. I couldn't beat her up, but then again, maybe I could. I don't know. But you know, she's a beast. She's a trained fighter. She's knows a lot of techniques. But overall strength, I'm pretty sure I could bench press more than she can. I'm pretty sure I'm stronger. You know what I mean? Men are stronger than women. That's just a biological fact. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just like I made a video about the WNBA. You know, these women, they don't want to live in reality. You can't dunk. You can't dunk. So lower the rim. If you lower the rim to like 9 feet, you can dunk. And all of a sudden, the WNBA will become like the greatest sensation, the greatest thing, and tying up on the uniforms. You know what I'm saying? Make it a little bit more feminine. But the egos is too much, man. The egos, it's like there's nothing wrong with the differences between the sexes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. You know what I mean? We can't all be the same. It doesn't work though. Even in the animal kingdom, the lion is way bigger and stronger than the lioness. Like, it's just nature. Men's sports, women's sports, transports. Yeah, I like transports, but there's not enough. See, the problem with, Maria, the problem with transports, there's not enough of them. I mean, I'll look it up right here. Let me see. How many trans people are in the USA? Come on, bro. Check this shit out. So 3 million Americans, approximately 1.14% of the nation's adult population, or 3 million Americans, identify as transgender. There's like 300 plus million people in the United States, and 1.14 of them. So then you're thinking about how many of them actually play sports. And I don't know if you know any the gay men don't, I mean, let's keep it 100, bro. Like, how many gay men are out there playing basketball, playing sports and stuff like that? Then there's very not many of them, because they want to be girls. You know what I'm saying? They're not out there trying to play sports. You know what I'm saying? They're out there playing pretend and dressing up, you know, trying to be RuPaul. So you're talking about 1.14% of the world, of the United States population. And then the thing that I guess people don't look at those statistics, and it's like you're making all of us bend the knee to the trans, and they're like an insignificant portion of the population. Like, why would you diss the rest of us for them? And I'm not saying that they can't exist. I'm not saying that they can't be who they want to be, but you know, they shouldn't be trying to play sports with girls. You shouldn't be trying to have little kids do surgeries and that kind of stuff. It's very common sense stuff, but the liberals, they're out to lunch when it comes to this stuff. They are. So this is him signing.
You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature, because this is, you know, this
pretty
is
much
a big one, right?
Pretty much 1% of the population is bullying the other 99%. That is 100%, Maria.
We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Look at that.
Pretty good, huh? I see that. Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all.
What awesome.
Going, everybody. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. And by the way, he wasn't sniffing hair. What a stark contrast, right? Joe Biden would have been, he'd be out there sniffing all kinds of hairs. That's funny. 1% billion. It's crazy how that works. Let me see what else we got. After years of we don't care about that. We're taking back the Panama Canal. Yeah, this is good news, man. I'm excited about all this. Like, I've been saying it for a long time. Like, it's not fair, man. It's not right. Like, who thought that it was a good idea to put biological man playing with women? And you know what I was really waiting for? You guys, I was waiting for Joanna Man. I was hoping for that. I was really waiting for that. Like, I was really looking forward to seeing the Joanna Man. I wanted to see like a 6'6" basketball player, transgender, just straight balling, dunking on everybody. You know what I mean? Have like 80, average like 80 points a game, have a 150-point game, be Wilt Chamberlain's record. That's what I was looking for. But now Trump is gonna end that. So there goes my wish of seeing Joanna Man out in the basketball court, putting in work.
In Los Angeles in 2028, my administration will not stand by and watch men beat and batter female athletes, and we're just not going to let it happen, and it's going to end, and it's ending right now, and nobody's going to be able to do a damn thing about it, because when I speak, we speak with authority.
That's right.
In Los Angeles in 2028, my administration will not stand by and watch men beat.
That's what I'm talking about. Daddy Trump is back. That's what I like about him. You know, he's a man of conviction, and you got to respect that. I know he's human. I know sometimes he says some things that can make you question sometimes. But at the end of the day, I'm a person of I like action. You can tell me you're gonna do whatever you want. I want to see what you actually do. That's the big difference. A lot of these politicians, they talk a big game. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to lower this and lower that. And we're going to make everything awesome. And then they get in power. They don't do a damn thing. Trump said, I'm going to do this. Bam, he did it. Like that. 16 days. 16 days. Canada bent the knee. Oh, that's another thing, man. People were freaking out. Oh, my God, tariffs. He going to put tariffs in Canada. Oh, my God, where will I get my maple syrup? Oh, the lumber is going to be super expensive. Oh, you're going to pay extra for gas because they supply us with energy. Mexico, oh, my God. Wait, you're not going to get your avocados? What happened to the guacamoles? You're not going to be able to have guacamoles anymore. It's all come from Mexico. Same thing over with Colombia. When Trump went to go send the immigrants back to Colombia, and the president was like, nah, you can't bring them here. And Trump was like, well, put some tariffs on you. Real quick. Oh, my God. Oh, where would we get our coffee? Oh, Colombia. Where would we get our coffee? Because apparently only Colombia makes coffee, because I know I don't have coffee. I don't have a coffee plant in my backyard in Puerto Rico. Just like I don't have an avocado plant in my backyard in Puerto Rico. So apparently only Mexico got avocados. Fucking idiots. But what happened? They all bend the knee. Canada. The little sissy pants Trudeau up there. Oh, oui, Manjuri. We're going to put tariffs. We're gonna do 25 tariffs, and everybody's freaking out. People are telling me, oh my God, but everything's gonna be so more expensive. What's going to happen? And what happened? They all bend the knee. Not a damn thing happened. Nobody got terrorists. And then we got what we wanted. We wanted them to put soldiers up in the border, lock that bad boy down, and we did it. And that's another thing, too. This president is showing you that if the president really want to get shit done, he gets shit done. because they kept asking Kamala about the border, right? What did they kept saying? Oh, you got to pass the bill. We had a bipartisan bill, and the Republicans wouldn't sign for it because Trump made it so that they wouldn't sign for it. We had a bipartisan border bill that would have fixed the border. You don't fucking need it. 16 days. And the border crossings are like 96, 97% gone. Gonzo. They had like 200-300 people the other day, and then they caught them all, and nobody came inside. Now they're all being shipped to Guantanamo Bay, which leads me to the next topic. I don't drink Colombian coffee. I drink Dominican coffee. I drink Bustelo. That's my coffee. So now that brings me to the point. Okay, so everybody's happy. Transgender folks are not going to be playing against female. Great. So we like that. So then my next topic was so I'm going to tell you right now, man, if anybody's watching, and like, I know we don't got a lot of people here, but that's okay. If you are an illegal immigrant, especially if you're like a Mexican, Mexico, you can just grab a U-Haul. I know Mexicans love their pickup trucks. Pack your shit, and just self-deport. Go on back to Tijuana. Take your TVs, take your clothes, take everything. Because these guys are not playing. If you got a criminal, if you got a warrant or you committed some type of crime, bro, you're going to Guantanamo, bro. You're going to Guantanamo. That's an island. You're in Cuba. Even if you escape Guantanamo, now you're in a communist country. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to escape Guantanamo, but if you did, you would be in a communist country. Like, I'm telling you, if you are an illegal immigrant, bro, start dipping. And if you're an illegal immigrant that your country doesn't want to take you guys back, bro, you're going to El Salvador prison. You better figure it out. You better call somebody. You better get on a plane. You better get on a boat. You better do something. You better get the hell. You better start making plans to self-deport, because you're gonna end up in one or two places. You're gonna end up in Guantanamo Bay, or you're gonna end up in El Salvador prison, and you don't want to be in El Salvador prison, because El Salvador prison, Baca ain't freaking playing. Like, you do not want to be here. This is how they got him, bro. Bro, you do not want to be here. Nope. You do not want to be here. In one of this super max prison. Look at that. And I think that's one of many. I think Baca got he done cleaned up El Salvador. El Salvador went from the number one murder capital of the world to the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. Baca wasn't playing. He arrested everybody. He built this supermax facility. I mean, it houses hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people, and he got plenty of room left. Because the people that he wasn't able to get, they all migrated to the United States. They're here. So the people from El Salvador, the ones that are not in that supermax right now, they're here. So when Tom Homan and Trump gets them, he gonna send his ass right back over here. But on top of that, he gonna send everybody else that your government won't take you. So I think China's not taking their people back. You're going to El Salvador. On top of that, Baca offered to even send United States citizens, like the criminals. So if our prisons are overflow, because, I don't know if you guys know, but, the prison system is a privately owned company. So we pay the prisons. The government pays the prison per prisoner. So I'm pretty sure Baka would take them at a discount. So it'll probably be cheaper for us to send them to El Salvador than it is for us to send them to a privately owned prison here. So they need to get the stepping, and they need to get the stepping quick. Because what's coming, like right now, there's already been a couple of flights that already went to Guantanamo Bay. And now I know a lot of leaders are crying about whether it's legal or not. But here's the thing. If you're an illegal immigrant, the Constitution doesn't apply to you. I know that the liberals and I know that the Democrats like to make it seem like they have rights. Like, for example, all the illegal immigrants, if they're out there protesting, you can just snatch them all up. They don't got no rights. The Constitution is for the citizens of the United States of America. You're not a citizen, therefore those laws don't apply. But, the bleeding hearts like to think they do. And I get it, we're the best country in the world, which it's weird, right? Because if we're the best country in the world and everybody wants to come here, why does our leaders, especially like Democratic leaders, try to make it seem like the United States is the worst place in the world? And all these celebrities, they all want to move to different countries because, oh my God, the United States is so racist, but then everybody else wants to come here. Look at that. How Bakal keeps them over there. Look at this shit right here. Bam. Now, I don't know if there's copyright music or not, that beat, but look at him. Look how Baka got him. That's what we need to do here in the United States, but that's El Salvador. That's what the immigrants are going, bro. If you committed crimes in the United States, that's where you're going. Yep. That's crazy. Look at they got them on lockdown. Look how they got them. All these badasses on, all these gangsters. Look at all those gangsters with all them tattoos. Oh, you ain't so bad now, ain't you? Yeah, they better go. They better get the getting. They better get the getting. They better get the getting. Somebody got to tell them. Somebody got to tell them, guys. If you know people that are illegals, man, you got to let them know, man. You got to get the getting. Because where they're sending you, no person wants to be in. It is wild. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And there's so many, here, I'll show you guys. There's so many, like, look how they have them, bro. Look how they keep them. Just humiliating. Look at all them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Just nut to nut. Oh, man, that's just crazy. That's crazy, bro. Got them there working. Prison El Salvador. Yeah, they're not playing, bro. Because not playing. Look at it. Look how they got them. Boom, like rats. They got them out there like rats. Just pack them all up. And that's where you're going. Yep, tough guys, Maria. That's what they are, tough guys. Look at them. Not so tough, are they? That's Bakar right there. And Bakar is like super young, handsome fella, Christian. He says he's I think he has 4 more years. 2029, I think, is when he's done being president. But it took him a while. Like they did to him. They did to Bakar right here. They did to him what they did to Trump. Like he fought really, really hard to become the president of El Salvador. I think they put him in prison for a little bit. Like they put him in jail. Like, it wasn't easy for him. He's the younger version of Trump, but for El Salvador. And then when he finally got into power, he had to get rid of all the corruption. He investigated all his cabinet members because he was like, I'm not gonna be having a whole bunch of crooks and criminals working for me. Like, and he turned it around. Just like the other guy from Argentina. Donald Trump, I don't know if you guys don't know, but he took us out of the WHO, the World Health Organization, because we was giving them millions and millions of dollars, and that's a entity run by the Chinese, and he didn't want to do it. So then the president of Argentina, he said, "Shit, I'm gonna get out of there too." And when he took power, he started going from each government agency. He was just, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, and he cleaned house. And now Argentina, which Argentina at one point was just like the United States. They were a powerhouse because they have oil and they have a lot of resources, but they destroyed the economy. They destroyed their dollar, and they basically they turned into a third world country. But now with their new president, economy's doing good. You know, he's a huge Trump fan, and he's following Trump's suit. Trump said, "We're getting out of the WHO." And they said, "Who? we ain't fucking with the WHO either." And he got out of it because leaders follow leaders. And that's how you know. That's how you know you got the right person in power. But look at this. I mean, this is
1,000 inmates stripped to their shorts and with their heads shaved to what's been dubbed the country's new mega prison. It just opened. It's believed to be the largest prison in the Americas with a capacity for 40,000 people. And it's the latest step in a controversial crackdown on crime that's caused the country's prison population to soar. Human rights organizations have reported that innocent people have been caught up in the law enforcement campaign. That includes dozens.
See, but that's the thing, right? You heard what he said, that, you know, people are crying because some innocent people got caught up in the mix. You know what? In order to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs. Sometimes doing the right thing, you know, can get ugly. But in the end, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like in California, right? A lot of people may not know this, but the reason you have all like the whole Skid Road and all the homeless people out there with tents and fucking, I've seen people make like mini mansions out of tents and stuff like that. They even rent out rooms and stuff under the bridge. The reason that's happening is because some bleeding liberal heart argued that throwing away their stuff, so when you had a homeless person with a tent somewhere, the cops would come in, they'll take the property, they'll throw it out, and, you know, you guys to go to a shelter or something. But they said that it was a violation of the First Amendment right, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they're people too. And, you know, they meant well, right? They meant well because they didn't want the property to get thrown out and whatnot. But you ended up with Skid Row. Then you spend billions and billions of dollars to supposedly stop the homelessness, and it only gets worse. And that's your Democrat-run cities. And now, if you guys didn't know, Pam Bondi just got confirmed, right? She got confirmed and she got sworn in. And they're going to do an investigation on Gavin Newsom because he and E.B. Joker, if you're still on there, and you had mentioned last time you were in the pod with me, you mentioned about that train in California. Well, Trump's trying to find out what the fuck happened. They spent like $16 billion to build this train in California. And bro, they haven't done shit. As a matter of fact, let me look that shit up. Let me look that shit up right quick. The train to nowhere, really. California train project. Gavin, okay, right here, boom. Let's check this out.
I am sick and tired of hearing about how wonderful the transportation system is in France and Japan, and have you been to Shanghai, or do you know what they're doing in Beijing? Well, finally, California is going to get it right with this new high-speed rail, and that northern terminus will happen here. And this project, I am sick and tired of.
Yeah, see a little slick Willie over here.
One of the things I want to investigate rapidly, because I've never seen anything to this extent, the train that's being built between Los Angeles and San Francisco is the worst managed project I think I've ever seen, and I've seen some of the worst. Billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars over budget. In fact, I read where you could take every single person that was going to go on the train and get the finest limousine service in the world and take them back and forth with limousines, and you'd have hundreds of billions of dollars left over. It is the worst thing, and we're going to start an investigation of that because it's not possible. I built for a living, and I built on time, on budget. It's impossible that something could cost that much. And now it's not even going to San Francisco, and it's not going to Los Angeles. They made it much shorter. So now it's at little places way away from San Francisco and way away from Los Angeles. No, we're going to start a big investigation on that because I've never seen anything like it. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. The worst overruns that there have ever been in the history of our country.
So that's wild. $33 billion on a high-speed rail from Los Angeles to San Francisco to be completed by 2020 is now a $128 billion train from Berkside to Merced with no expected date of completion. I'm from Massachusetts. We did the Big Dig, and that ended up costing billions of dollars. They went over budget, and a chunk of it fell and killed some people. But at least we got it done. California, nothing. And he finally got water. How hard was it? They make. I swear, man, the Democrats, man. I don't know if they're evil or they're incompetent. Real talk. I don't know if they're evil or they're incompetent, or they just got taken over by the Illuminatis and the globalists. I don't know. Maybe they hate humanity, but they make it seem like certain things are so difficult to do. Like, how hard was it? Seriously, you got prisoners. So how hard is it to clean up the brush? Knowing that you live in an area where you can have fires. And when you have fires, there's a lot of wind because there's a lot of there's hills, right? The Hollywood Hills and stuff. And it happens to you every single year. Every single year there's a fire. I don't remember a time where there wasn't a fire. But then you're not going to bother. You got all this money. You got Hollywood. You got Silicon Valley, you got all this money over there, and you can't hire a few people to go clean up the damn brush? And then you want to blame it on global warming? No, you're a bunch of morons. And then you have water coming in from the north, and you're going to stop it from flowing because of a fucking fish that nobody eats? The fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. Stop it. That's the Democrats for you. And I used to be a Democrat. It's a damn shame. I'm embarrassed to even say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Over budget. Let me see. President Trump asked for all the wasteful spending that so DOGE is uncovering all that wasteful spending too from them. So we're coming right back to DOGE. Biden admin sends billions to California over budget behind schedule, train to nowhere. It's in everyone's best interest to cut the losses and resend every cent dedicated to the foolish project, California Rep. Douglas. See, you sort of, bro, Biden out there sending money and not bothering to check whether or not the money was being used for the stuff that they said that it was going to be used for. That's bad. That's what you call bad management, bad president. And California is run by a bunch of incompetent people. So finally, somebody's going to investigate it. So we already saw that. Freaking my numerous views of the trade to nowhere. Is that how much they built of it? $33 billion right there, ladies and gentlemen. $33 billion hard at work. Your tax dollars hard at work. $33 billion, man. That's a high-speed train if I ever saw one. God damn. Wow. That's simply wow. $33 billion. Look what you got. Jesus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So, well, what else was on the agenda? What did I say my other topic was? What I say was, oh, yeah, by the way, guys, you know what I'm saying? I should have probably said that, but, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. All right. So it looks like we covered all that I wanted to cover today and some. Let me see. I was born and raised Democrat. Realize what they were about and never look back. That's right. You're smart. You're smarter than the average person, because sometimes it takes people. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is, right? People suffer from cognitive dissonance. And you see it a lot in religion. But some people don't like to admit that their way of thinking might not be right. See, some people believe in something, right? Especially like with the Democrats or Republicans, right? For example, I was always told that the Republicans were the party of the rich and that the Democrats were the party of the poor. My entire life, that's what I thought. So every black person I knew, every Hispanic that I knew, they were all Democrats. Because that's what they would say. Oh, the Republicans are for the rich people. Republicans are for the rich. Republicans are for the rich. And that I never asked, I never questioned it. It was just something that people kept saying. And they just kept repeating it. And then it just became a thing. You say Republican, automatically your brain goes rich people. Democrats, that's for the people. And then what happens is, when you start paying attention, you start to see the evidence that maybe, just maybe, they were wrong. But then you have cognitive dissonance, so then you try to justify it. Well, no, there's got to be a reason. No. And then your brain starts to try to justify why you believe what you believe. And then you just shut everything out. And you put yourself in the echo chamber and you just start listening or hanging out with people that think just like you. And your mind gets just shut down. And with cognitive dissonance, I like to use religion as an example, right? So hypothetical speaking, right? I don't believe this. I'm just saying, just to illustrate a point. A religious person, and it could be any religious person. It could be a Muslim, it could be a Christian, doesn't matter. Somebody who's hardcore. Bible thumper, Quran thumper, whatever. Somebody that's knee deep in the religious belief, unwavering, right? They believe in their God and they ain't shit you gonna tell them that's ever gonna change that. But guess what happened? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, aliens managed to come. And let's say some aliens will grab that person and they'll take them up to the mothership. And they'll show that religious person. They'll say, hey, listen, us Anunnakis, we came here and we genetically modified you. And here is the evidence, and this is how we did it. God didn't create you, we did. That religious person is going to be like, you're a demon. You're a demon. No, I can't be. I don't believe you. You're a demon. Impossible. And they won't believe it. Even though it might actually be, even though all the evidence says that that's the truth. I'm not saying that is. This is just a hypothetical speaking, right? But I'm just saying that's what cognitive dissonance does to people. So it's the same thing with like a lot of people when it comes to like politics. They believe that the Democrats are for the poor people and Republicans are for the rich people, and they ain't shit you gonna say that's gonna change their mind. Which is why they say that you shouldn't talk about politics or religion in a bar, because people start wanting to fight and shit because they believe in what they believe so cold-heartedly that the moment you start making sense, oh baby, it's a wrap. That's why you hear them calling Trump Nazi, Hitler, and same thing with Elon, because you don't have an argument, because what they're doing, it makes logical sense. Going through the books line by line, trying to see where the money's being spent, that is a very logical thing to do, and might I say the correct thing to do. But because they refuse to admit that they're wrong, oh, they're taking over the country. They're taking over the government. Oh, my God. It's a coup. It's a coup. They're taking over the federal government. It's a hostile takeover. Somebody do something. Instead of taking a step back and being like, you know what? Maybe these bastards are taking advantage of us. Maybe they are wasting our money. But that's just how the brain works, man. It's crazy. Let me see, B, what you said. We need to have a convo after this. Okay. I was born and raised Democrat, realized what they were about, and never looked back. I'm from Philly. That's right. But yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. The liberal mind, that's what the liberal hive mind. Good YouTube channel, by the way. I like listening to him. But that's what it is, man. Some people, they believe so strongly, and the moment that they're wrong, they don't want to admit to it, so they start doing mental gymnastics. They start twisting shit around so that their view fits, even though they're wrong. Like, people, they were able to convince that Trump is the devil. But then he does like amazing things, right? He does some beautiful things. And they can't cope. You can't give credit where credit is due. And I don't mess with people like that, because I'm the type of person, like, if you do something wrong, you do something wrong. Like, I'm not going to give you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like, for example, the one thing that I disagree with Trump a little bit on is I think that we should definitely find other alternative sources for energy other than oil. Because for some strange reason, and I'm not a scientist, right? I'm not a scientist, but something tells me that the oil is on the earth for a reason. And I know I've talked about this on my last cast, but I think it's a point that needs to be said. I get the whole drill baby drill, and let's oil independent, and we got black gold and all this money under our feet. But at the end of the day, that shit ain't gonna last forever. It's gonna burn out. We're gonna run out of it. So you have to find an alternative source. And the oil is there for a reason. That thing has a purpose. Everything on this planet has a purpose. Mosquitoes have purpose. I don't know what that is, but they have a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So I'm pretty sure the oil is there for a reason. Maybe the oil is what keeps the earth in its proper access. Maybe the oil is what keeps the earth cool. Who knows? Now you're talking about global warming. Well, maybe it's because what used to keep the earth cool, the oil is no longer there. You can't run an engine without oil, right? If you got an engine, you take away the oil, the friction gets real hot and it explodes. Maybe the oil here is the same way. But we're just taking it out. And then you have all kinds of weird sinkholes happening in places. And that might be part of the reason. And in the Gulf of Mexico, not too long ago, there was a big oil spill that kills the marine life, contaminates the water. Like, there's a lot of environmental stuff that can go wrong with drill baby drill. So that's something that I don't see eye to eye with Trump on. But you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they can never get, yeah, no. Every single time I get into a conversation with somebody, Trump lies. Oh, yeah? About what? Everything. Okay, give me something. Just everything. Everything he says. Okay, well, give me an example. Everything. Everything. He's just a liar. He's a rapist. Can't argue with people like that. I learned, in the real world to just ignore them. And sometimes I'll even in the real world, right? Because on the internet, it is what it is, right? We do, as Trump would say, we do a little trolling. But in the real world, first of all, I'm a big boy. So if I gotta throw down, I'm gonna throw down. But I try to keep the peace. So sometimes I go along to get along. So if there's somebody that's like a diehard Democrat, I'll play along with them. Oh yeah, oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, the white man, yeah. Down with Whitey. But you just do it to keep the peace. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be out there in the real world trying to argue with everybody, especially with politics. Sometimes you just gotta be like, whatever, and just ignore them and just flip the script. Hey, how about the basketball game? And there's some people that you can't talk about politics with at all. There's some friends that you can't talk about politics at all. So it's one of those things. Do you value the friendship, or do you want to talk about politics? I'd rather not talk about politics at all than still be your friend. Because it's not that, in the greater scheme of things, it's not that important. Because it doesn't matter who's in power. You still got to go to work. You still got to earn a living. So it doesn't matter. I mean, they might make it a little harder for you because you might have to pay more taxes, or the food might be more expensive. But at the end of the day, you still got to go to work. So it doesn't really matter who's in power. I've been through a few presidents. I've been through when I was a baby, the first Bush, Clinton, Obama, the other Bush, Trump, Biden. So I've been through a few presidents. Still got to work. Life goes on. So I don't know why people get so divisive over politics. But it is interesting, that's for sure. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, I covered everything. What else just before I leave here? Because I know it's getting kind of late. Oh yeah, so they finally they released the transcripts on that Kamala Harris interview, that they try to flip it to make it sound good. And they released some snippets of it, and it was hilarious. Let me see. Breaking Michael tells Justice. No, something else. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't really want to watch Kamala. I think oh, here it is. We'll do this last one right here. We'll end the show with Cackles Kamala. Hey, wait, we got 5 people on the chat, man. Why don't you go ahead and hit that? Do me a favor, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe real quick. Don't you see that number 26? Let's get that to 100. Let's get that to 100. Come on. Hook a brother up. We out here. You know what I mean? The more subscribers I get, the more motivated I get. All right. So let's check out Camel Toes Kamala.
Last October, in the heat of the election, Harris, Hail Mary with CBS. But the network was caught deceptively editing this answer. Watch.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening. The Wall Street Journal said that that your administration has repeatedly been blindsided
thank you.
by Netanyahu. And in fact, he has rebuffed just about all of your administration's entreaties.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Trump sued CBS for $10 billion, and it looks like they might.
Did you guys did you understand the word she said? Then they sit there and wonder, oh my God, how could she have possibly lost? Because she talks in circles. We got to do what needs to be done, and the hard work is now, and we work hard because working hard is good work, and hard work is good work, and good work, we do it right, and that's how we do it, and we do it every day and every time because we like working, and working is what we do because working is the American way, and by the way, did I tell you that I was raised by middle-class family? I love middle-class family. Fucking believable.
Settle. But before that happens, the FCC released the full interview, unedited, and we have the tape. They talked for an hour and left a lot out. Here's an answer that never made air. Watch.
I'm trying to understand how it is that with this emphasis on the border, the numbers of crossings quadrupled under the first 3 years of the Biden-Harris administration. How did that happen?
There are a variety of factors that relate to what we have seen globally and what we are not immune from at our own border in terms of what we have seen in terms of surge of immigration and irregular migration. And there are solutions at hand, but we've got to have leaders who are solution-oriented, which we've been and are.
CBS also cut out their host pressing Kamala on how she's going to pay for all of her giveaways.
If all of this makes so much sense, why has this not been done? You're dealing with a Congress that is divided, that many are in opposition to not only you but your policies. So how are you going to make this come true?
If I approached my life as though, well, it's never been done before, therefore it cannot be done, I wouldn't be sitting here in this interview with you.
Then 60 Minutes tossed Kamala
my God.
fat softball, and she swung and missed.
The most basic of questions. Why do you want to be President of the United States?
There are many reasons, but probably first and foremost, I truly believe in the promise of America. I do. And I love the American people. You know, we are a people who have
ambition
and aspirations and dreams.
How did I know?
And optimism and hope.
Ambition and aspirations.
To run. That's why you want to be.
That's why I'm
president.
running. That and some other reasons.
But you're asking the American people to make you the most powerful person on the planet. Why do you deserve the American people's votes?
Well, first of all, I have a career and a history of being very clear that I think of my role of leadership, and in particular now for the last 4 years as vice president and moving forward as president, if the voters will have me, as being a leader on behalf of all Americans.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Kamala wasn't the only one having a rough night. One of the crew guys misgendered Madam Vice President.
Is that what you needed?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. 30 seconds of silence, please, for John.
Michael Schellenberg is the founder of Public News.
Oh, man, we dodged a bullet, ladies and gentlemen. We dodged a bullet with that one. Oh, man, there's a God. We, you know, that right there is, I need to do a show on just cackling Kamala. That'll be an all-day affair. That's for damn sure. Because, Yeah, because man, she gave us so much, didn't she? Oh, she gave us so much laughter. Her non-answers are, they should make college classes about the level of non-answer that that woman would give you. And how she sticks to it though every single time. What do you want to be president? Well, you know, I believe the American people have inspiration and aspirations. They work hard. And hard work is good work. And yeah. It's like, bro. And I'm telling you, I don't understand how the Democrats don't admit to what everybody else sees. Because I have a hard time believing that they really believe the shit that they say sometimes. I really do. I think a lot of them, they just, I don't know. But then again, I don't know, man. Because you got some weirdos. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them know that they're bullshitting. But they're doing it for whatever purposes that they have. But Kamala is something else. But that is a topic for another show. Maybe I'll talk about her on Friday. Maybe. So the next one's going to be on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, probably around the same time, 9, 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm actually going to post it about an hour or so ahead of time. So you guys can check it out. Maria, appreciate you. Thank you for joining the chat. That definitely helps a lot. EB Joker, as always, brother. I hope to have you on the stream on Friday. So, you know, we'll do a live guest. And also just a quick for anybody that's listening. If you are a person that likes to have conversations, like to talk about politics, if you agree or disagree with me, and you can do it respectfully, and we can somehow find common grounds, feel free to hit me up at theangryricanshow@gmail.com, and we can get you on stream and we can have a conversation for the world to see. And if you're a person that likes to talk shit and likes to troll on the chats, I welcome you to come onto the show and we can do it face to face, because the best way for us as people to get along and go along is for us to talk to each other. So if you're one of those persons that you feel like you want to do a little bit of shit posting, you know what I'm saying, you can join my Discord, which is the same thing, The Angry Rican Show. Over at Discord, you can get my server. You know what I'm saying? I can bring you onto the show. We can talk about it. And I'm all over the place. So all you got to do is put in The Angry Rican Show at whatever social media. You want to find me in Kick? I'm at Kick. You want to find me at Twitch? I'm at Twitch. You want me to find me on Instagram? I'm at Instagram. However, I don't post on a lot of those places, but if you want, I'm there. All right, so just check me out. And again, I'll be on Friday night, 9, 10 o'clock. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I jump on. God willing, I'll be able to do this all of 2025, and we'll maybe take this channel to the next level. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, do so. And I appreciate you guys, and thank you for the wonderful, wonderful conversation. Until the next one. Laters.